Hey there, my internet friends. It's your girl, Jerry Tolliver here, CEO of Fly Credit. I hope you all are doing amazing today. I am here today with another video about how you can start building your credit. And this is specifically for people that are fresh out of bankruptcy, especially Chapter 7. So I get a lot of questions for people through bankruptcy, and most people are wondering, well, what do I do from here? I filed bankruptcy, I got myself into some trouble, or maybe I just, went through some hard times. There are a lot of different reasons why people file bankruptcy. But, if you filed bankruptcy before and you don't really know where to start, you're kind of feeling a little hopeless, and you're not really sure if you're going to be able to rebuild and reestablish some good credit, I want to be able to be the person right here to tell you that you can, that even with a Chapter 7 bankruptcy on your credit report, you can build a 720 plus credit score. So I'm really excited to be able to share this information with you all. So if you've ever found yourself filing Chapter 7, or even if you're on the brink of bankruptcy right now, just know that it's not the end. In fact, it's just the beginning for you. And so we're going to talk about how you can rebuild and reestablish excellent credit scores, even if you have a bankruptcy on your credit reports. So as you all are jumping in, just say hello. Just say hey. Say hey, Jerry. Don't be shy. Let me know your name, where you guys are tuning in from. If you're tuning in from YouTube, just say hey. If you're tuning in here on Facebook, or if you're in our university and you're one of our students, just say hello in the comments. I'm really excited for today because, this is really going to change the game for a lot of people. This is really going to help people understand whether or not they're on the path to having the credit that they really always dreamed of having. Because most people, they think that once they file bankruptcy, that's it. Like, credit is over. I'm never going to be able to build good credit. But my friends, actually have students, I have clients that have bankruptcies on their credit reports, and they have 700 plus credit scores. And I know that you guys can do the exact same thing. So welcome. Thank you all for joining. Thank you for saying, hey guys. So excited to see you all here. So if this is the first time you've ever been on one of my videos, I just want to say stop and just say, hey, my name is Jerry Tolliver. I am the CEO of Fly Credit, where we help you have better credit, better opportunities, and a better lifestyle. And so one thing that I know is I know about credit. I took my scores from 545 to a 765. And then after that, 4 years later, I finally reached 850. I reached the perfect 850. And now I've been able to teach other people how to duplicate my success, teaching other people how they can repair their own credit, how they can rebuild their own scores, how they can really clean up and regain their good name, all because they learned how to take advantage of the power of having good credit, learning about credit repair, learning all the loopholes that they need to establish excellent credit. And so one thing that about me is that I didn't always have good credit scores. I was actually on the brink of bankruptcy 5 years ago, when I was, in deep, I'm talking about waist deep, like throat, like head deep in credit card debt. I was in almost $32,000 credit card debt. And one thing that was really, I guess, just stressful, like really stressful for me, was the fact that I didn't really know how to get out of it, that I had found myself in this credit card trap. And I didn't really know how I got into it, to be honest with you. But one thing that I had realized later on in life was that I really had very bad habits related to my credit. And because I had so many bad habits, I racked up so much credit card debt that I thought I was going to have to file bankruptcy to get rid of. But luckily for me, I was able to learn some strategies, some tips, some methods so that I can eliminate that credit card debt. And I was able to do that, actually. I was able to pay off all $31,800 plus of credit card debt in a matter of about 8 months, really. And I didn't even have to make more money. I just learned how to reduce my interest payments. I learned how to pay off credit card debt faster. I learned some of the pro tips that most people never ever discover, and they always find themselves in debt. And because they find themselves in the cycle of debt, they then file bankruptcy to get out of it. And so if you find yourself there, right? If you find yourself there on the brink of bankruptcy, or if you've already filed bankruptcy, then no sweat. This is not the end for you. This is actually the beginning. Because let's be honest, there are a lot of different reasons why people will file bankruptcy. Some people file bankruptcy because they've gotten sick. Some people have filed bankruptcy because they've gotten divorced. Some people have filed bankruptcy because of job loss. There's a lot of different reasons why somebody will file bankruptcy. So I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to help you take some steps further and faster towards reaching excellent credit, even though you've probably had some missteps in the past. I know what it's like to have missteps. I've been there, I've done that. I've got clients galore that have made some missteps in the past as well. But it doesn't matter what you did. All that matters is what you do moving forward. And so if you're one of these people that have already filed bankruptcy, it's okay. You filed bankruptcy before, or if you're on the brink of bankruptcy, here's a couple of things that you need to know. The first thing you need to know is, if you're on the brink of bankruptcy, first of all, what kind of bankruptcy you're going to file. Now, there's different types of bankruptcy. I'm not a bankruptcy lawyer. However, just, working with clients for this period of time, I've been able to discover that most people either file Chapter 13 or they file Chapter 7. Chapter 7 essentially is when you get rid of your debt altogether. So if you've got credit card debt, or you've got loans, or if you got debt on your back that you really need to get rid of, then you can file a Chapter 7 bankruptcy and just wipe it clean, start all over. Now with Chapter 13, it's a little different. Chapter 13 is more like a consolidation kind of plan. So if you're, if you have debt, but you still want to pay it off, however, you don't want to pay all of it off, you kind of want to pay just some of the minimum payments and knock some of your payments down altogether, then you will go with Chapter 13 bankruptcy. Now, there are different reasons why people would choose either or. You figure out which one is best for you. Now, if you've already filed Chapter 7 bankruptcy, then you've already started over. You have no more debt. The only thing that you have on your credit at this point is either the Chapter 7 bankruptcy and or the accounts that were included in your bankruptcy on your credit. Now, the accounts that are included in your bankruptcy that's reporting on your credit, they should report a $0 balance. They all should report a $0 balance if they were included in your bankruptcy. So this way it will show on your credit that you no longer have any more debt because it was included in your bankruptcy. So essentially you have a clean slate. You start all back over. Now, granted, bankruptcy is a derogatory mark on your credit reports. It is going to drop your scores pretty significantly. However, you can start rebuilding your credit right away. You'll be amazed actually at how many even auto lenders will start calling you right after you file Chapter 7. There are a lot of companies and credit card companies that will actually offer you things after you file Chapter 7 bankruptcy. So just be aware of that. But if you've filed Chapter 7 already, you've gotten rid of the debt, then the first thing you got to do is start rebuilding your credit. Now, you can only do this two different ways. You could either get credit cards or you can get some loans, or you could also add like some rental payments to your credit history and such. There are several different ways for you to rebuild your credit, okay? There's really a lot of different ways for you to build your credit. If you want more precise ways, you can either pick up our Flawless Credit Guide. Our Flawless Credit Guide gives you 5 bulletproof ways to rapidly raise your credit score, and they're guaranteed ways for you to do it. I'm talking about you can get credit cards without a credit check. You can get rental history added to your credit reports. You can get utilities added to your credit reports. There's a lot of different ways for you to build credit, but that's the only way you're going to be able to raise your scores is if you establish more credit. That's the only way you're going to be able to do it. My friends, I have clients that have Chapter 7 bankruptcy on their credit, but they have a 720 plus credit scores because they've established new credit right after they filed Chapter 7 bankruptcy. Well, you're wondering, well, Jerry, how in the world am I going to be able to file? How in the world am I going to be able to apply and get approved for new credit cards if I've got bankruptcy? Nobody's going to want to approve me with bankruptcy. Now, although some companies and most companies may not approve you for bankruptcy, there are some that actually will. But you're going to have to start with getting your foot back in the door. Now, you can get your foot back in the door by getting a secured credit card. A secured credit card is a great way for somebody that's filed bankruptcy to get their foot back in the door with building business credit. Personal credit. If you can also do a secured personal loan. A secured loan will also report on your credit so you can start building more credit scores. So you can get a secured loan. You can get rental history if you're currently a renter. You can get rental history added to your credit reports. You can get a secured credit card added to your credit reports. And then once you get your foot in the door, then you can start getting some of the other major credit cards. So in my opinion, what I would always tell somebody right after bankruptcy is start with some starter cards. Start with a secured card or a secured loan. And then once you start establishing credit that way and getting your scores a little higher, then you can get some of the beginner credit cards that are not for, good credit or excellent credit, but maybe for average credit. You can go with retail credit cards. Retail credit cards are some of the easier credit cards to get rather than major credit cards. Your major credit cards are like Chase or American Express or Capital One. These are major bank credit cards. But if you're not quite there yet right after bankruptcy, it's cool. Just get some retail credit cards. And your retail credit cards could be like Express, Victoria's Secret, Overstock, Wayfair. There are so many different companies that you can get retail credit with that you can use, pay it off, use it, pay it off, use it responsibly. They'll raise your limits eventually, and then you start upgrading your way into major cash cards. And so although there is a process to rebuilding your credit after bankruptcy, I can assure you that if you follow those steps, you'll be able to get yourself to 700 and above. So bankruptcy is not the end. Bankruptcy is the beginning. And so if you find yourself right now with a lot of credit card debt, or you find yourself having to file that bankruptcy and start all over, just know that it is okay. Just know that you can start over. Just know that you can rebuild excellent credit. You can position yourself to get whatever credit, the house, the car, anything that you want, even if you have filed a bankruptcy. Now, granted, it'll be a little difficult for you to get some of the business credit if you're a business credit person watching this after bankruptcy. But business credit is a little different when it comes to bankruptcies. But if you've got personal credit and you file bankruptcy on your personal credit, I don't want you to give up on credit. Oftentimes I run across people that have filed Chapter 7 bankruptcies and then they just give up. They just, they just swear off credit altogether. They don't want to have anything to do with it, but you need your credit. Your credit is really, really important. If you want to go buy that house, that car, maybe you want to go get a new apartment or maybe a new insurance policy or maybe even a new job. There's so many different things that takes into account your credit score that it's the most important thing that you could possibly pay attention to is pay attention to your credit score. Rebuild your credit score, because you can rebuild excellent credit and you can get approved for the best rates. You can get approved for the best offers. You can get approved for the best deals, and you can do it even if you have a bankruptcy on your credit. All you have to do is make sure that after bankruptcy, you do something different. After bankruptcy, you develop new habits. After bankruptcy, you develop new commitments towards making better changes and making even better choices when it comes to your finances and your credit. And I can assure you that if you do, that if you change your habits, if you change your disciplines, if you do something different with your credit than you did before, then you will not find yourself in that position again. My friends, I was this close to filing Chapter 7 bankruptcy, this close, until I learned that I could get this debt off my back. I didn't have to file bankruptcy. I can get out of that. However, if I would have filed bankruptcy, I still knew that I could still build excellent credit. I still knew that there were still opportunities available to me. I just didn't want to go that route. But for some people, it's a good route to take. There are times where we do consultations and credit audits with people, and we'll look at your credit report. And if we see that there's a lot of debt and, we'll take into account some of the things that you may tell us, and we may actually tell you, you need to file Chapter 7. You just file Chapter 7. Just get the debt off your back. And then we can work on even getting the bankruptcy off of your credit reports during credit repair. During credit repair, you could actually get a bankruptcy removed off of your credit reports. So that is an option as well. So you can either get the bankruptcy removed off of your credit reports, you can go that route and then start rebuilding, or you could just start rebuilding right away after you file the Chapter 7 or after you file the bankruptcy. The reason why I'm cutting this video is because I just don't want you to feel discouraged. I don't want you to quit. I don't want you to give up on having excellent credit, because if you give up, if you stop, you'll never be able to reach your goals. If you give up, you'll never be able to get those best rates. If you give up, you'll never be able to close on that house. You'll never be able to do it if you don't start working on rebuilding your credit after you file that Chapter 7 bankruptcy. And so if you filed the Chapter 7 It's okay. I want to give you, the thumbs up. It's okay. You can rebuild your credit. The only thing that you got to do is start rebuilding. Okay. Start rebuilding with some, some secured credit cards or some secured loans, or get some rental history reporting on your credit, and then start getting some retail accounts. Okay. Some, Walmart, Targets, Amazon, some retail accounts. And then you can upgrade your way into those major cash cards through Bank of America, Chase, Capital One, some of those, those good credit cards with the points, rewards, cash back, all the perks that you get from having good credit. You can do that with a bankruptcy on your credit. And if you don't want the bankruptcy on your credit, it's cool. You can also try to get the bankruptcy removed from your credit report. So for my friends that's watching this on YouTube, there's actually a video on YouTube that's labeled How to Dispute Bankruptcy. So you can actually go to the video on YouTube. You can watch the video about how to dispute bankruptcy on your credit. There's also a free letter that you can pick up. So there's a free dispute letter that you can pick up so that you can dispute the bankruptcy on your credit reports and get that process going along. But just don't give up, okay? That's my main message for you today is do not give up if you have filed bankruptcy. If you're thinking about filing bankruptcy, you're not really sure, you can schedule a free consultation with us directly online, okay? So you can schedule a consultation with us. We can help you determine, should you file bankruptcy or should you go an alternative route? And then we can coach you through that entire process. But I am just here to tell you today that you can build excellent credit. You can build exceptional credit scores with a bankruptcy on your credit. You can still get approved with a bankruptcy on your credit. You can still be successful with a bankruptcy on your credit. And so I love y'all guys. I really do. I want to see y'all be successful. I want to see y'all get those excellent credit scores. I want to see you get approved. That's what I really want to see. And so I hope you got some great information today. If you filed the bankruptcy and you have a couple of questions, I'll leave some links in the comments and description for you all. So if you're watching this on Facebook, I'll also put a link for the dispute video that we have on YouTube in there for you as well. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'll give you a couple resources so that you can start, plugging and playing your way towards building those excellent credit scores if you have filed bankruptcy. So this is your friend Jerry Tolliver here, CEO of Fly Credit. Again, I hope you guys got some great information. If you did, if you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button so you can get some more great free educational information from us here live at Fly Credit. Or if you're watching this on Facebook, you know how we do on Facebook. We're always dropping some knowledge here. So I love you guys. I will see y'all next time, and